the famous Nick Young meme, which I think you've probably talked about that story a lot. But for those the select few who don't know, you created the Nick Young meme, which was actually from a video, which you mentioned doing more video earlier in your career, and that was a video that was on YouTube that you did with Nick, some behind the scenes stuff. So when did that kind of take off, that moment? Because I believe that there's kind of a gap between when you did it and when it became a meme or a GIF. Like, how did that kind of go viral? And at this point, it's taken on such a life of its own that, like, anytime there's kind of a questionable comment or anything like that, you'll see that meme on Twitter or Instagram or wherever. So, like, that has probably been the most, like, viral thing that you've done, I would assume, just because that's such a universal, like, I feel like it's like a top 10 used GIF. So, like, what kind of walk us through how that became what it is today?
Yeah, so I had been shooting photos for about 2 years. So in 2013, I just realized I had this really cool opportunity, having all this access to such cool NBA players. And I noticed at the time, like, mainstream media was not covering the things that I was covering, to the point where I had companies telling me, like, nobody cares about what players are doing off the court, nobody cares what they're wearing. And I was just like, okay, let me find a way to show it and put it on my own channels. So I had been very familiar with editing video, filming video. I went to school for a lot of that stuff. So I decided to start a web series and I called it Through the Lens. And I would follow NBA players for a day in their life. And I was just going to edit it and post it on YouTube, and whatever happens, happens. So the first player I decided to reach out to was Nick Young. And I mean, Nick was the best person I could have thought of to start that with, because he obviously has a great personality. And then he just gave me all access. And so me and him linked up for the day. His assistant was there, and the three of us just like hung around LA. And then at one point, he took us to his mom's house, and then his mom is funnier than him. Like, she's just got the greatest personality. And so she was just telling us childhood stories about Nick, and then she mentioned this one story about how, he ran into a player at a local park, and how Nick was playing good, but how he needed to take the game more serious, but he was a clown back then. And when she said that, and then it was like the fastest look ever. If you watch the actual video, it's just like really quick. But then when I started editing it, going back to my motion graphics, visual effects background, I was like, how can I add little funny graphics throughout the video? And so that one moment, I was like, I have to add question marks. And at the time, my partner that I was working with is Jordan, who started Swish Cultures now. And me and him were sitting there, and we were like, he was like, why do you keep obsessing? I'm like, I don't know. I have to put question marks. And it was taking me forever to figure out how to do it. And he was like, don't worry about it. I'm like, no, we got to do it. And then let it, go on YouTube. And I think it probably took me a year to edit it and get it right, like the whole episode, because it was my first one. Then once it got uploaded, I think within a few months, I just remember going on Twitter one time, and then I saw somebody post, like, a meme of that screenshot. And I was like, wait a second, like, that's from my Nick Young meme. And then it just went viral. Like, I feel like the second I saw it was maybe like around April of 2014, I guess. And then by Christmas time, it was like everywhere. Like, every single person was using it. And then when people found out it was a video clip, then it like went viral all over again, because now it was like fun that this moment that you love actually has a video as well. And that's why I don't have a watermark like the Cassy Athena watermark, because it has a Through the Lens watermark in the corner of the video.
Mm.
So people just cropped it off, which is a great example of why I don't like to do
Why you
watermarks in
have
the
the
corner.
watermark?
Yeah, but I would have never thought a video of all things would be the most viral thing I've shot. So, but I mean, for the most part, I feel like if you do your research, you can figure out I created it. And since then, I've been able to, talk about it, and people know I do it. And Nick has been interviewed multiple times, and he always gives me credit too. So it was a really cool moment, but I feel like a lot of people for at least 2, 3 years are like, she created the Nick Young meme. And I'm like, I have so much more work I'm doing, but yeah, like, that's my most viral, honestly. So I've embraced it.